this week I was doing, for my job, some research on some individuals who own businesses in Cleveland, like big, not, I wouldn't call them business, like corporations, right? Huge companies. And one of these guys owns freighters. Right, he owns a fleet of lake freighters. And not only is one of these freighters named after him, so when I Googled this guy, the first thing that came up was a lake freighter. I, scrolled down 3 scrolls and found his LinkedIn. The man, not the lake freighter. That would be a she. And, so I'm looking at it, and at the bottom under skills, it just said boats. Which really made me chuckle. Boats. Not like anything in particular with boats. Just a skill in general is boats. Which makes me wonder if you had to put just like a skill, like a life skill on your LinkedIn that maybe like wasn't really a skill, but like, along the same line as boats, what would you put?
I don't know if I can top boats.
Boats is really good.
It's like, pick a random inanimate object that you're enamored with. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's it. Pick your inanimate object. This guy loves boats.
Reciprocating saws. I love my reciprocating saw.
Yeah, Aaron does love his reciprocating saw. He loves all his tools.
I do love my power tools. Maybe it's just power tools.
Aaron's a big power tool guy.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What would yours be?
Lawnmower. I love my lawnmower. Don't at me, people who are like, don't mow your lawn. It's good for the fireflies and the moths. I know it's good for the fireflies and the moths to not mow my lawn, but I love mowing the lawn. I find it very therapeutic. It's like easy exercise, right? Like I mean, your lawn isn't that big. No. Our yard isn't huge.
Side shame my lawn.
But like, I don't know, it's like passive exercise. You're done and you're like, oh, I just walked a little bit and I didn't really realize what I was doing. Unless you have a riding lawnmower. I guess push mower. Lawnmower asterisk push.
My God, there's someone who lives by my parents is like a tiny yard and he uses a riding lawnmower.
That's very funny.
Yeah, he just like goes around in circles. Yeah, and he's out there forever. I was like, what are you doing?
That's awesome. He gets dizzy.
I know.
Incredible. I've never actually been on a riding lawnmower.
I don't think I have either.
I've only ever been acquainted with push mowers.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like a riding lawnmower. I don't think I'd be good at it.
Seems like more work to drive that shit around.
Yes.
Your yard, like around trees and things.
I do actually think...
Like if you had like 18 acres of like grassland that you had to...
get your riding
Then
mower.
you get a lawn.
Yeah. Get a horse and one of those things that it pull up.
Or have like 20 kids and give them shears.
Yeah.
That's how they used to do it.
Don't do that.
Safety shears. Little rounded ends, yeah.
Big set of fiskars. No, I love my lawnmower. Aaron loves his reciprocating saw. And guess what? The feeling is mutual.
It reciprocates. There we go.
What do you think Spock's would be?
His tricorder.
What's that?
Oh, you haven't encountered that yet.
No.
It's like his little scanner device.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
What do you think Kirk's would be?
It's a ship.
Spaceship?
Well,
space boat?
Specifically the Enterprise, but yeah.
Space boat.
Yeah.
I think McCoy's would be his little tippy table. Just tippy table.
And Riley's would be a big glass of poisoned milk.
Yep. I can't wait to talk about that poisoned milk.
Yeah, we'll get there, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
But this is our segue
into The Conscience of the King.
That's
and
right.
The Balance of Terror, which are the 2 episodes we are covering this week on the Voyages of the Friendship Enterprise.
That's right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Please write in. Let us know what your inanimate object.
Should we get a P.O. box for our podcast?
Awesome. Send us tweets.
Yeah. Send us what your favorite inanimate object would be.
Yes.
But, like, actually send the object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send boat.
Yeah. Send boat. Just make sure it's something you can legally ship through the mail, but...
That's all we ask.
Yeah. Another Shakespeare-centric episode.
Very. This episode is an English literature nerd's dream, but, like, kind of in an annoying way where, like, a lit major in college would watch this and be like, oh, I'm gonna parse this for meaning. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm too tired to do But go on. Keep going.
Sure. Yes, this is production number 13, and it was also the 13th episode to air, which is kind of unusual. We've seen how things were produced out of order. This one actually lines up.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's not that interesting. Originally aired December 8th, 1966, and for those of you keeping score at home, the episode's star date, a meaningless number, is 2817.2.
Point two. That's very important.
Yes. And shall we venture into the New York Times?
Let's do it.
The day.
What was happening on December 8th, 1966? Thank you.
All right, so this is the late city edition of the New York Times. So there was a Pearl Harbor observance for the anniversary.
Of course, naturally.
So this is following that day. And they apparently had a pilot who led the raid there. So it's sort of like an effort to, I guess, mend fences still.
Very interesting.
So that's actually the top of the fold. So that's the biggest headline on here. Jordanians are rebelling against their king Hussein. So that's going on in Beirut.
Okay.
I don't know a ton of history about that, but
it is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And we're here to report on it. It's the New York Times.
It's the New York Times, baby. Some more Rhodesia news. The Tories are denouncing Labour's plan to ask for mandatory sanctions, so they're trying to keep that white regime going. It's a great phrase.
Keep Rhodesian British.
Yeah, keep it for the British. There's some more news about atomic planning. NATO is expected to set up a strategy panel to include U.S., Britain, and Italy. So I think this is talking about how to basically handle nuclear weaponry between NATO powers.
Okay.
West Germany was not a NATO power, but Britain would be, or Britain was by this point. I think France also was by this point, or was getting there.
Aaron's going to say that, and I'm going to say...
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Sure.
Congress is studying the draft, which is an interesting little kind of beneath the fold headline. It's not clear from the initial outline what they're studying about exactly, but there's been some sort of commission on it.
Great.
To study the Civilian Advisory Board for the draft. Some New York news. That's not that interesting, honestly. That was the New York Times for December 8th,
Busy.
1966. Busy. A little bit of Cold War news, but other than that, kind of banal.
Okay. Well, it is not banal.
In the world of Star Trek.
Not at all.
So, shall I summarize the Conscience of the King? All right. So, this is from Trekopedia. They do some great summaries. Captain Kirk.
Sponsor us, Trekopedia.
They will not. I'm sure they will not. It's probably like one guy.
Thank you, Trekopedia.
Captain Kirk receives a message summoning the Enterprise to the home of Dr. Thomas Leighton, a brilliant research scientist whom Kirk knew many years before. The summons is a trick to lure the captain to Planet Q, which sounds like a restaurant.
It does.
Yeah. It's like a knockoff Planet Hollywood. So that he could see and meet actor Anton Karidian. Leighton believes that Karidian is actually Kodos, the ex-governor of Tarsus IV, who oversaw a massacre that killed the Doctor's entire family and part of Kirk's as well. When Leighton is killed, Kirk investigates and decides to transport the Karidian troop onto the Enterprise so that he can study the enigmatic actor. In an effort to discover the truth, Kirk romances Karidian's daughter, Lenore. Really imaginative name use in this episode that's Shakespeare-centric. During the voyage, Lieutenant Kevin Riley, another survivor of the massacre, which we'll talk about because it's ridiculous, is poisoned and nearly dies. A phaser explodes, almost killing Kirk and Spock. Riley recognizes Karidian as Kodos, but a shocked Kirk discovers the insane murder of the survivors is actually Lenore, who accidentally kills her father. So there you go. I was skulking around.
Good, great.
In 10 Forward.
Great.
Which you don't know yet, but it's the little bar on the ship in the Next Generation. I was talking to some scumbums there, and they were telling me some things about the episode, and I thought I'd share some little tidbits that I overheard while I was in the bar. I had a sneaky drink. So Barbara Anderson, who plays Lenore, she actually had a cold sore during her lip on filming, which I don't know if you noticed. I saw it.
Yep.
Yeah, so they kind of tried to shoot around it and use makeup to disguise it, but I think now with like high def, it's really hard to hide,
it's
that kind of stuff.
It's not super.
No, but there's
but there's one close-up shot at the end
toward
where he says like, when she has the quote from Julius Caesar, like, see how he comes or whatever. And there's like that close-up on her face. You can tell they've covered it up and they've done her lipstick like higher, way outside her lip line. Very Kylie Jenner. Or
it is, it is very Kylie Jenner, just kind of like weird and uncanny for this.
But yes, I did notice that's a fun fact.
Another interesting thing I heard was that when Kirk goes to the Leighton dinner party and he meets Lenore for the first time, you can hear a very slow jazz version of the series theme song in the background.
That is really
which I did not know this.
Either.
It's the first time, and I guess it comes up again later in a couple other episodes.
I was too grossed out by Kirk in this moment.
I want to talk about that scene and also the Leighton's house. We'll get there, but
yeah, I was like really grossed out by Kirk for most of this episode. Mm-hmm. Well, Kirk's interactions with Lenore were really cringing, whatever. I wasn't liking them very much. But that's very cool. I wish I had noticed that.
I know.
But instead I was like,
well, there's 2 more chances to hear it, apparently.
Okay.
So.
But now we have to listen.
Yeah, so it's in Shore Leave, which I think is the next episode.
It is.
And then there's another one in the Court Martial, which I think is season 2.
Okay.
This episode was also among the lowest in ratings during the first season, mainly due to the fact that it was, quote, too talky.
Huh.
And didn't have like a Monster of the Week. So it actually did not give it a repeat broadcast. It was one of the ones that was not broadcast.
Because I really liked this episode.
I did too.
I did not think it was too talky. I did not think it was any more talky anyway than any other episode.
I think it just means there's like no fist fighting.
Yeah,
I guess, right? Like that's...
Yeah, no man on man action.
Yeah, I mean, like really, it's not like someone doesn't get punched
in
this episode, really. But one other little...
Yeah, go ahead.
I have 2 more little tidbits. But one is kind of a segue into actually talking about the episode. But the actors playing Dr. Leighton and his wife, so William Sargent and Natalie Norrick, actually married to each other.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
One of my obsessions of the week is Dr. Leighton's wife's giant ring. Mm-hmm. It seems like doctors are still doing pretty well for themselves in the year 400.
This is why I want to talk about the house too. Yeah. But we'll get there. I want to jump ahead.
Was that her real ring?
I don't know. It's crazy to me that Kirk's going after Lenore when she's there, though.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Classy, sophisticated lady. Who's not wearing her lipstick like the Jenners.
I have a comment about that, actually. That's,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. But
my last juicy tidbit I heard in the bar. At 85 seconds, this episode's teaser is the shortest in the series, which I had noticed but didn't.
Huh.
It's super short, right? We start in a Shakespeare play. Yep. We get this kind of close-up on Kodos, who we don't know is Kodos yet, but he's in the middle of the play. He's holding a knife.
Yes.
I love this opening. We just drop right in the middle of it. It's very cool. We get this like whispered dialogue between Kirk and this other guy who we don't know. We only see in profile, which becomes significant later. And it's just really brief. And he says this, I guess like they're basically just arguing about Kodos.
Yes.
I forget. Do you remember what he says? No,
because it's whispered.
It's all whispered. It's hard to hear. But essentially he's cluing Kirk into the reason why he's actually there.
Yes.
Which we then follow up with right post-credits. We go to the house of Dr. Leighton and his wife so we can talk about them. This is all on Planet Q. I love their house. It's this like swinging 60s pad. It's got this great view outside, like heavily swinger coated. I'm sorry. This place is heavily coated that they're swingers. They got like this patio out back. Like all it's missing is a bowl for the car keys. Like that is all that's missing here.
Incredible.
It's like lit moodily. There's like purple and pink lighting.
Lit moodily. I will know for all you listeners at home that Aaron has like a spotlight shining behind one of his plants right now.
2 plants.
He's trying real hard to, I guess, give off a similar vibe.
Yeah, I guess. No, I've never been accused of being heavily swinger-coated, yeah. And so, like, right in this moment, we jump back in, and Tom's in the middle of trying to convince Kirk that Kodos is actually this governor that they both know. Kirk, like, apparently would have been, like, 15 or something.
Yeah, I guess.
He's young when they do. Some fans did the math on this.
Well, yeah.
The numbers change because he says one age here, and then later on he says a different age. So either way, he's young. when this happens.
Because it's 20 years prior.
So we get a little background that Kodos killed 4,000 people, including members of both their families. And then we get this great reveal where Tom's face is shown to be half gone or like badly burned. But he's got this like silky little diaper number on it.
Yeah, but it's huge.
It's huge, yeah. It's like his whole face and eye.
Yes, but also like more than his face.
Yeah, like it sticks out, right? It's like an eye patch for like the side of the
head.
A
human head would stick out. So
it's a wild costume choice.
It's really bananas. This is one of those moments, kind of this and like in the episode when they're trying to figure out, is Anton Caridian Kodos, like, are they the same person? Kirk is looking at their photos side by side, trying to figure out if they're one and the same. And I'm just like, it's the year 4,928.
I know.
Do they really not have any sort of facial reconstruction surgery that this guy could have done? I mean, they say, oh, his body was never identified. Just like, go get some good plastic surgery, my man. Same with Dr. Leighton. Like, why is half your head a patch?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
guess it's like to show, like...
Also, like, I get it. It's in reality, it's 1966 or 65 or whenever they were shooting this, and they probably couldn't even conceive of, like, someone getting, like, a full new face. Yeah,
like, right, the, like, sort of contemporary analog for this is, like, the Nazi hunting that was going on at this time, right? Where they're, like, tracking down these...
Right.
They're just old. They weren't
but
they weren't disguised. They were just like old. Yeah, it was just older, which is like the whole thing here, right? It's like he just looks older.
Yeah. But also, right, me in 2025 is like...
It is the weak point of the episode, I think.
Just
it's just like...
face.
Yeah, then like how the determination's made, like with a voice match. You know what I mean? Like it just feels very dated in that. That would be like my one... honestly kind of quibble with this episode, probably.
Right, if we're trying to poke holes
in this, I mean, I'm not, but
like we can, right? But
I'm not really interested in it.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's a fun episode.
So I'm not gonna poke that many holes in it, even though I did have questions like, why didn't he just get a new face?
Right. Right, and like Tom's dead set that this is Kodos.
Yes.
Kirk at first is skeptical.
Yes, because that's a hard pivot from mass murder.
To like traveling thespian.
Very noted Shakespearean actor. It's not like this guy is like shitty, right? He is a good actor. People talk about him.
Yeah, he's like traveling the galaxy, right?
Yeah, with the whatever cultural exchange program.
There's a long name for it, but
and this actor who plays him is fantastic.
Yeah, he's actually Broadway.
Yeah, I was going to say he has to be a Shakespearean actor. He's so good.
He's really good. He's one of the best guest stars
we've seen. His voice is incredible. His acting is incredible. I mean, he just is.
He kills it.
Fantastic. As much as I hated Lenore,
Barbara Anderson, she's not great.
I loved this. I don't know his name. I leave that to Aaron.
I actually forgot it.
It's not my job to know. It's my job to learn, folks. So if Aaron's not teaching me,
I looked him up. He's mostly famous for plays, but he was in other TV shows.
Because you can tell he's a stage actor.
Arnold Moss.
Well, he's phenomenal. Arnold Moss.
Brooklyn native.
Really did it for me.
Yeah. Did a lot of radio work too.
That makes sense. Again, that
great voice.
Beautiful voice. But he was really good in this role. But hard pivot. Like, killed masses of people and then was like, I know, I'm going to have a daughter immediately.
Yes.
Because she's 19.
Right. So she's would have been like in the womb at best when this is happening.
And then also, I would like to become a Shakespearean actor.
Hiding in plain sight, I guess.
I guess so.
Right, like if you're playing other people, you're never yourself.
Well, and that's kind of the vibe, right? He like says like that is. Kirk confronts him about being Kodos, and he's like, that's a role I once played, so he kind of is sort of in this weird actor vibe of like, right, every life I've lived is just a role I've played, darling, kind of thing. Which I wish he would have said to Kirk.
said that, he would have been swinger goated too.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so they argue a little bit.
Yep.
Tom's wife sort of gets involved, but basically just to say like
don't bother
about it. Yeah, it's clear he's made up his mind. Like,
yeah.
And the whole thing is Tom's trying to get him to come back for this party he's going to host for this troupe because he wants to sort of catch Kodos out through this. So again, to go back to the title of the episode, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing, right? You're going to catch him out of it in a lie or something. So Kirk is skeptical. He decides to go back to the ship, but then he a little nibble at the back of the brain. Yep. He goes on the computer, does a little research, and he's just suspicious enough that he's willing to be convinced that maybe it's possible.
Yep.
So he goes back down to the party, and maybe he just wanted to go to the party. Maybe I get it. It's a groovy time.
That's right.
They're playing the theme music. It's jazz.
Yeah. Great glassware.
The great view of the
free
purple
drinks.
Desert or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Free drinks.
And what a lucky day for Kirk, because this beautiful 19-year-old is there.
Yes.
We know he's always on the prowl for the underage women.
Yeah, so he immediately puts the moves on Kodos' daughter. She walks in, so Kodos is not there, right?
He is not there. His daughter says she doesn't.
That's right.
He doesn't come to these things.
He's too much of a.
He's too much of a thespian.
Right.
It's the craft, darling. By craft, I take it too seriously.
Yeah. He's a very serious actor. So they bounce from the party. Kirk makes a hard push for let's get out of here.
Yes, but can I know something?
Yeah.
He calls her Lady Macbeth. So, he calls her Lady Macbeth. And he tells her how many times he loved her as Lady Macbeth. You don't really realize this till the end, right? And it's revealed that she's the one who has killed all 8 of these people. Well, it's 7.
Well, 7 and almost killed.
Yep. Yeah. There's 9 people who technically know what Caridian looked, or Kodos
were witnesses to this. Yeah.
Which I have a question about.
We can talk about that.
So there are 9 witnesses. She has systematically killed off 7 of them, but you don't know at this point that it's her. Right. You're led to believe that it is
him.
Yeah. But Kirk keeps calling her Lady Macbeth, right? Lady Macbeth. Oh, I loved your Lady Macbeth, blah, blah, blah. Well, obviously Macbeth does some killing himself as well.
He does.
But Lady Macbeth is really the earworm.
Prime.
Yeah, she's the prime. Yep, she's the one saying you need to do this to make your own political aspirations come true, blah, blah, blah. Out damn spot.
I'm
blah,
doing
blah,
all this
blah.
for you.
Yep. She is really... So, right, we get a little kind of Shakespearean. For anyone who knows their Shakespeare, their little hackles should maybe be up at this point when he keeps referring to her as Lady Macbeth. Yeah. But, obviously, if you're unfamiliar with Shakespeare, or you're just willing to be swept along in the fantasy of it all, it's easy to miss. They're having flirty, sexy banter, whatever, and we move on to, they're walking in the desert and they find the doctor's body, and then things progress from there to basically Kirk is now more suspicious. He invites the actors to, he talks.
Not only invites them, right? Yeah.
He basically calls their ride.
Shanghai's them.
Yes. And is you can't take them anymore.
Yeah, he's basically don't come to the pickup.
Yes.
We'll take them.
We'll take them.
Yeah.
So there's this awesome moment after this when Lenore finds this out, and she then goes to appeal to Kirk to be their ride.
Yes.
Classic. I mean,
yeah.
Classic. This is how my mom and my dad started dating.
Your dad was a ship captain?
No.
And your mom needed passage?
My mom needed a ride. And to a party or something, and she told my dad she didn't have a car. And she did.
The Astral Queen left without me. Take me to this party.
So it's a real life example. This can work, folks.
Yeah.
But there's this awesome moment when Lenore comes up on the bridge. She's wearing this absolutely fantastic fur mini dress.
It's wild.
I love it.
A big gem in the middle. Yeah.
Brooch in the middle. you know, and sparkly tights.
Yes.
What an actress. And there's this awesome moment where Ensign Rand walks onto the bridge when Kirk is talking to Lenore and gives her
like the hairiest eyeball.
Yes, absolutely the biggest look down I have ever seen. Maybe in my life. Definitely on the screen.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's fantastic.
There's so much venom in it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
These little moments, folks. This is why we're watching. These little moments.
Yep.
But yeah, of course, this hot blonde gets her ride.
Yeah.
Duh.
Mm-hmm. Right, and Spock initially thinks Kirk arranged this because he wants to sleep with her.
Yep.
And he goes to Bones to talk about this.
He kind of, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's question. Yeah, there's enough wiggle room there, I think, but yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to Bones about it. He tries to get Bones on board, but Bones is like on a booze cruise for this leg of the Enterprise's journey. Apparently, he's just like trying to get Spock to drink, and Spock's like, "I'm not gonna drink."
Whatever.
Yeah, he's just like, "Who cares? It's the captain. Like, what are you complaining? What are you fretting about? Stop worrying." And then he just like keeps drinking.
Tell him to wear a condom.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
What does he say? If you won't join me, at least don't. What does he say?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact.
Don't join me, at least don't think less of me.
Yes, in other words, like, don't judge me, or don't stand in judgment of me while I'm having a booze cruise.
Which is fantastic. But I love, I really love the interactions between Spock and McCoy. I think they're very charming. So good. Initially, when we started watching, I was like, oh, I love these interactions between Spock and Kirk. And I still do, but now I think that these two, as Kirk's advisors, it's much funnier to watch them spar than it is to watch Kirk and Spock, who, I don't know, there's just something about the dynamic that
it'll change too, but yeah.
That is very charming to me that I really, really like.
It's very funny. For sure.
But yeah, he's like, let
it alone. Yeah. It's only 8 light years or whatever out of way.
Right.
But like Spock's also just irritated because he's Spock, right? He's like, why are we going out of our way?
Yeah, which I get.
Yeah.
Gas is expensive, people.
That's right. And then of course we have the life of Riley because Riley's back.
Oh, of course. We thought he would be gone.
We thought he was a one-off, but no, the singing Irishman is back. He's been exiled to engineering, he thinks, because he did something wrong. But he doesn't know what it is. But really, Kirk moved him down there because Kirk finds out that Riley is also one of the eyewitness survivors. Yeah. Well, he must have been like 3 at the time.
Yes.
So, but anyway, he realizes that he's going to be a target now. So he moves him down to engineering to like get him out of the way, which ends up being a mistake. But he thinks he's being punished, so he calls like the mess hall where all of his buddies are hanging out with Uhura, who's on the Vulcan harp again.
Hell yeah, girl.
Which this is like the most like 50s and 60s shit ever, right? It's like we need a musical number in this episode.
Yeah, obviously.
We obviously need some
musical Shakespeare. We need some musicians. Yeah. Musicians are central to Shakespearean comedy, typically.
Yeah.
But it did feel a little. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this feels very Shakespearean to have like the musicians playing in the middle, basically the smack middle of the episode.
Yeah, it is right in the middle, actually. Yeah.
I have a question about this. Did Nichelle Nichols do her own singing? Do you know?
Yeah, I actually don't know.
It sounds like
I think it's her though. I have no reason to believe it's not her, but
because she has a beautiful voice, and it sounds like it's her. And like obviously she did sing.
Yeah, began her professional career as a singer and dancer in Chicago.
Okay.
Whoa, she toured the U.S. and Canada with the bands of Duke Ellington.
That's cool.
Which is crazy. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was a dancer in the film version of Porgy and Bess. So yeah, she definitely could.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So it makes sense for too, right? Like you have an actor who can perform. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you use this person? So this is the second time. So Riley's sad, he's all alone. So he asks her to sing.
Love
song, and you know, he's vibing. He's got this little plate of like the very colorful food that we've commented on in the past. And
it looks like cantaloupe.
Giant glass of milk. Which sounds awful with whatever that fruit or processed stuff is. So you know, we hear the song. Everybody in the mess hall's like jamming along, looking very like misty, sort of.
Yep.
mistily smiling. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
He's down there stretching in his chair, and then he reaches for this glass of milk, which we have seen someone spritz. A hand comes in out of scene and spritzes it with like a literal spray bottle.
Spray bottle.
It's a literal like cleaning bottle.
What?
A choice.
A choice.
Like, why not like a dropper? You know, like
so much poison, honey.
Yeah, I know. It's like, or are you like diluting it to get the last bit out of the bottle? Like when like give your Myers spray cleaner and it says on there, it's like when you get to the bottom, add water to get full use of it. Like maybe that's what it was. She's like, I can't afford any more poison.
Poison's like, does have to use my giant spray bottle. I mean, it's
like a 30-ounce.
We have to say,
It is. She spritzes and she's gone.
She spritzes and she's
she's never the wiser.
Right, a dripper would take much longer.
That's true.
Got a drip, you risk extra
eye drop,
Spritzer, you're not
one and done. Yeah.
And then
so he drinks it.
He drinks it down.
And like
immediate effects.
And like I think just because he was on like the intercom. Yeah. He's saved, right?
He's saved.
They know because he can like hardly speak.
Yeah.
But they rush into sickbay. McCoy like does his whole like, I don't know if I can save him.
Classic.
Yeah, McCoy. you gotta under promise and over deliver, right? But he does save him. And like sort of basically I guess at the same time or roughly the same time we go to Kirk's cabin and he and Spock are talking. He's still kind of having this argument about like why are we
doing
carrying these actors around? And there's a phaser overload that like almost blows them up, but Kirk is quickly able to throw it down the laundry chute. Yeah, I know it is a garbage chute, but it looks like a laundry bin where it blows up, and they like they do their little like toss around thing.
Classic.
Yeah.
So can we back it up?
Sure.
We missed the worst scene in the whole episode so far. We missed the episode, the scene where Lenore and Kirk are like cruising the ship, I guess.
Yeah, they're up the observation deck, right? Yeah.
And it's bad.
It is bad.
It's really bad. She talks about the ship pulsing and throbbing.
Yes, that's right.
And then basically asks Kirk if he's also pulsing and throbbing, which made me want to immediately stop watching the episode. Because that's just gross.
That's not great.
But this comes into play later. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this comes into play later because at first, like right here, she's talking about the ship in human terms. She's saying the ship is like pulsing and throbbing with energy like Kirk. Later, when she's mad at him because he is like, your dad's a mass murderer, she says that he is mechanical, like the ship. So she does this like 180 where she sees kind of Kirk's similarities to his ship as like this positive thing.
Right, initially. Yeah.
Because he like breathes life into this mechanical thing. But then as she's losing her marbles is like, no. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite. Like your machine has turned you into a robot with no feelings. Yeah. And this also I think is because he's basically like, I'm not into you.
Yes, right. So because I mean, ultimately she's trying to seduce him anyway because she wants to kill him as well, right?
Yes.
So I mean, there's this way in there which they're both using each other.
Yes. But she's way more torn up about him being like, I'm not that into you.
Yeah, she is. But I can't tell if that's from like frustration that her plan isn't working too.
I don't know.
And her father also says the thing about mechanical life at one point too. So it seems like she's also kind of parroting her dad.
Classic 19-year-olds.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a very funny sequence.
It's a really uncomfortable sequence. He also talks about how they try to mimic like Earth conditions on the ship, day and night. Does he just mean like 12 hours of day?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
They're not trying to like keep a clock.
Well, I mean they
like a Earth clock. They're not trying to like it's 4 o'clock on Earth. So that's.
I think they actually do.
Oh, that seems
to keep
hard.
I think they do it to keep. So in other words, like people aren't constantly jet lagged or swapping time.
Fair enough.
They don't do it much in this episode or in this series anyway. Like the idea is like the lights are dimmer in the evening.
Sure. That makes sense. If you were
and like
just,
you have different shifts, right? So there's like an
Mhm.
night shift, day shift.
But then, like, so are they keeping? But are they like it's 4 o'clock on Earth? That's what it is here.
I think.
Or are they just kind of like mimicking the conditions, but without us fixing like a specific time to
Oh, I
that?
think it's a specific time because they'll reference like or 0400 or hours. Like they'll use army time sometimes
Okay.
in the show. So I think it is supposed to be.
They're always on Earth.
Yeah, they're always on Earth time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then when they land on other planets that have different times, they just have to adjust then, like.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, we never really hear about that.
Okay, sorry for asking.
No, it's a good question because I think my understanding is that there is a ship's clock. It's a 24-hour clock, and I assume it's matched to Earth time. But again, like which Earth time?
Yeah.
How far off Greenwich?
Right.
Are we?
Do they have daylight savings?
I don't know.
The Starship Enterprise?
I mean, Starfleet is headquartered in San Francisco, so maybe that's the time zone they're using.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But they still have daylight savings in San Francisco, Aaron.
Potentially, unless they've gotten rid of it, which we should do, but
we're not going to get into that right now. Sorry for backtracking.
Speaking of other
I just wanted
heated
to talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing.
But yes, you were right. So going back, sorry for jumping around. Folks.
No, it's okay.
Kirk and Spock are arguing.
Yep, they almost get blown up. And Kirk spends a lot of this episode arguing with people. He argues with McCoy a little bit. He argues with Spock a little bit. He argues with Kodos / Yeah, which that one makes sense. Yeah. Caridian. Yeah.
Caridian. I can only remember Anton. And he kind of argues with Riley a little bit at the end. So
yeah. Well, basically to convince Riley not to shoot.
Kirk is in his Hamlet era in this episode. I think Kirk is giving big Hamlet vibes. Do I die or do I keep on living in this weary world? Kirk is obviously not contemplating suicide, but he is really, 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 really juggling the fact with how he's going to deal with Kodos / Caridian, and it's making him really, really, really annoying. Kind of like Hamlet often is. Don't at me, all you Hamlet lovers. I think Hamlet gets kind of annoying.
People love Hamlet?
I mean, he's funny at times, but he's also a real emo kid, and so is Kirk, I think, in this episode. So yeah, I think Kirk is in his Hamlet era.
Okay.
I think that, and I do think because this episode is so Shakespeare. Can't say that 5 times fast. So Shakespeare heavy. Yeah. They are probably trying to like.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Right. I think that's a real thing. Yeah. I think they want Kirk to seem like Hamlet, struggling mentally with this choice. Because he doesn't know what he's going to do with Caridian.
No.
Even if he is close, they ask him that.
Right. It's like, what do you do next, though, right? Yeah, because the next scene after this grenade or phaser thing is he goes and finally confronts Kodos about it. So this seems to be the thing that finally pushes him to actually confront him, right? This is like the last straw. He has him read one of Caridian's speeches from a card, but like Kodos just does it from memory. He seems to know it by heart. Doesn't admit who he is, but he does provide some justification for what Caridian did. There's some hints of eugenics.
Yeah, they talk about that earlier.
Yeah, they talk about it earlier. It comes up again. Yeah. So there is this sort of like eugenic angle to it,
right? Which again ties in kind of with the historical influence of
like the Nazi hunting and stuff. Yeah. So he runs this voice test because he like records them reading a speech. He compares it. It's like pretty definitive, but not totally definitive. But like Kirk still hesitates a bit to get back to your point about Hamlet. And then I think we go back to sickbay, right? And this is when Riley overhears McCoy.
Yeah, at some point. I mean, I
get a little confused on that because we jump around a lot at this point between sequences.
But can we go back to you are also jumping around. I know we don't. We're out of time.
Yeah, no,
but this whole exchange between Kirk and Kodos Caridian is really interesting. It feels, again, very Shakespearean.
Yes.
Kodos is speaking in like incredibly, like, I would say elevated, eloquent language. There's this awesome shot when they first like walk in, right? The camera first walks into the room where Kodos is behind that screen, and it's almost like a confessional, which I think is really interesting. And these screens, obviously, they're all over, like in the rooms.
Yes, right.
But I feel like they use them really well in this episode to kind of almost like play on that, like, because obviously we don't get a confession from Kodos here, but it is Kirk is trying to get one. And like there's a point, again, we're talking a lot about Shakespearean references, but they're like biblical. Yeah. It's like a clearly biblical moment in this exchange where Kirk just asks point blank, "Are you Kodos?" And Kodos says, "Do you believe that I am?" Which is not exactly what Jesus says to Pilate when he's asked if he's the king of the Jews. Right. He says, "If you say that I am." Yeah. But it's close enough, right? That I think they're supposed to be. Yeah. Maybe not supposed to be a parallel. Like seems like that's probably what they're drawing on for Kodos here. Also, Tarsus is where Paul the Apostle was born. Again, not that they're trying to like say anything with this. I don't know if there's a deeper meaning, but again, there's obviously some like drawing from. I mean, Tarsus is also a real historical place, but I think most people know it because it's in the Bible and like
that's where he has this conversion moment. Which is maybe also what is being referenced, right? Like
right on the road to Tarsus. Is he on the road to
Damascus?
Damascus, that's right. I do have a question. I don't know if it like is pertinent to ask it about this scene or not, but kind of. So there are only 9 people who saw Kodos.
That survived,
But they talk a lot about how he let half the population live. So what about all those? What about those other 3,091 people that he?
I think
let off the hook. They just not know what he looks like.
I think it's the eyewitnesses to what actually happened. So then the people who can share about what actually happened there. Maybe that's how I understood it, is that there's 9 people who were actually there when he did what he did.
Okay.
Who survived.
So the
other 4,000 or whatever it is could identify him still, but I guess
they don't know for sure. Like
maybe
give, like, concrete evidence.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure why they do it that way anyway. Like, why not just have it be just there's only 9 people,
right, who survived?
Yeah.
I love. Okay, that's a good enough explanation for me.
I mean, it's not a very good one, but.
It works.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a reason, right?
No, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah,
no,
that's the only thing I could think of when I was watching it.
I loved when he just goes, "I am tired."
Relatable.
Homie, same.
Yeah. Tired of hiding.
Do you feel bad for him at all?
I think we're supposed to a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him. Definitely by the end. Maybe not in this, like,
question
when they're talking. But I definitely feel bad for him at the end. And do you think that in feeling bad for him, you're supposed to understand Kirk's mind a little bit better? Like, why he isn't just, like... Right, because Spock and Riley and Dr. Leighton are all, like... I mean... Spock isn't even an eyewitness, and he's decided this guy is real.
He quickly
he is Horatio. Yeah. He is Horatio to Kirk's Hamlet.
Yeah, he very quickly comes around to it.
Once he figures out what's going on. He's really annoyed with Kirk when he thinks he's just trying to sleep with this hussy.
Is it when he hears the voice recording or something? I forget what there's something.
No, he pieces it together where he's like, tell me, he has the computer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot he does his own little computer research.
The computer is easily my favorite character so far.
Majel Barrett,
yeah. But he has the computer like tell me how, James Kirk.
Yeah, all these people.
Riley and
what any connections they have, or any
connected.
overlap. Yeah.
Yes, and the computer comes back, so he figures it out, and then he's like, "Oh, this guy definitely did it."
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, kind of going back to my original point, I think that our sort of emotional response to Kodos, especially at the end when he clearly feels remorse for what he did.
That's the remorse that,
we're then supposed to understand why Kirk couldn't just kill him, I guess. I guess that's the implication, is that they just expect Kirk to kill him, which is kind of weird because we also know
we know he's not
a judiciary system.
Right.
He could arrest him.
And he gives no indication that he's going to kill him anyway.
Right. So. But that's what everyone kind of thinks he's going to do, which is really bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, certainly both Kodos and Lenore seem to think that. I don't know. Yeah, it's very strange.
But anyway. In this part, I don't know if I necessarily feel bad for him, but this part feels so Shakespearean to me. Again, like I said, we kind of get these long monologue-y bits of dialogue. His daughter comes in, right? Lenore comes in, and now she's completely changed. She's like, get out. Yeah, leave us alone. Angry. She's speaking again. It's kind of very high language, almost as if she's reading.
Yeah, she starts to sound performative, from this point on, really,
and then we get kind of to the climax of the episode where they're performing Hamlet on this hilarious little stage.
Yes, so good.
Up in front of 10 people.
Yeah, maybe 20.
But then it's being broadcast.
Yeah, it's being broadcast all over the ship. So these shots, people watching it elsewhere on little screens.
And Riley, who has overheard McCoy's notes, he's taking his little...
Yeah, he's dictating his little log.
Is oh, this is the guy who killed my family. Right. I'm gonna go kill him.
Yep.
So he escapes. He's trying to kill him. And one thing leads to another.
Right.
It kind of he finally sort of passively admits that he's Kodos, right?
He does, yeah. So it's after, I think it's after, well, Lenore admits she's been killing to cover up. And is that when he admits after that?
Yeah.
Because I think she confesses to him first that she's the one who's been killing all these people.
Yes.
And that she did it for him. And
right, and then he's like, now I have more blood.
Yeah, right. So I think that's when we get the definitive. Yeah. And also when Kirk knows for sure that, I mean, he already knows, but he can't really avoid it anymore. So that's when he decides he's going to arrest them both. Basically arrest them both. And Lenore somehow gets her hands on what I think is Riley's phaser, right, that he had stolen and then Kirk took from him. And she gets her hands on it and she's going to kill Kirk and kills her father. So he jumps in front. It's this is classic Shakespeare, misunderstandings leading to tragedy, right?
It really is. There's overheard conversations. Yeah. I wrote down, is this episode Shakespearean? And it absolutely is. The whole episode. This is
front to back.
Star Trek does Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yep. Sort of this mistaken identity.
Yeah. People getting the wrong impression.
Or
reacting.
Covered up identity.
Yeah.
Yes. The emotional turmoil of Kirk, kind of the monologue-y bits of language, the performances themselves, overheard conversations, mistaken identity, and accidental death,
Yep.
All of this, it's Shakespeare within Shakespeare.
It's all the tricks of the tragedies rolled into one.
Yep.
So.
And then also Shakespeare being sprinkled throughout, right? We get quotes from Julius Caesar.
Yeah, a lot from Julius Caesar.
From Julius Caesar, right? Because Lenore sort of equates Kirk to Caesar in both a positive and a negative way. And then obviously we have Kirk in Hamlet. We get a lot of Hamlet. Obviously the beginning is just them doing Macbeth.
Yes, straight up.
And then at the end they're doing Hamlet. And of course it is the scene. If you're unfamiliar with Hamlet, there's Hamlet's father comes back as a ghost. Essentially. And is avenge me, list. Famously. And this is the monologue that we get, which is interesting because Kodos is then don't avenge me.
Yeah, right. And in the prop, he's got this mask.
Yes.
This stage mask in front of him too. So there's all those ways in which, right, he's always appearing or disappearing behind things. Like you talked about the screen, which certainly a confessional, but also like could work as a stage curtain, right? He comes out and performs Kodos for Kirk. Here, of course, he's playing with the mask cover is partially covered. You know, he's like moving around, manipulating it. Yeah, it's very cool.
His mask is so.
It's a very cool looking mask.
If you're doing a production of Hamlet, do this mask. It's kind of robotic.
It is. It's like a mix of like robotic and like a little Art Deco, maybe.
Yeah. It reminded me of something. I can't quite put my finger on what it is at the moment. I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
When I was watching, there was there was something that I was like, oh, this looks like XYZ, and now I can't remember which.
It kind of looks like a knight's helmet too. A little bit, because it's got like bolts, I think.
Yeah.
Part of it. And it's got these little,
which is maybe slits. What it's supposed to kind of be, right? Like Hamlet's father is sort of a...
Right, yes. Yeah. I mean, but it is weirdly like futuristic too.
Yes. Because I wrote this mask supposed to be a robot or a ghost. But it's a great monologue to have here, right? It is the perfect way to kind of
bring this all to the end.
Yeah, the Shakespearean at the end, because Hamlet's father tells Hamlet to avenge him,
right?
And then, not 5 minutes later in the episode, Kodos is like, no, you shouldn't have done this. And then, obviously, in a fit of absolute fucking madness,
she goes nuts.
She goes crazy. Yeah. Ophelia.
Yeah, it's Ophelia for sure.
Lady Macbeth.
Right?
Or all these ladies.
Or like any of the Lear.
Yeah. Any
of the Lear one,
Troilus and Cressida.
Yeah.
Titus Andronicus.
Oh, Titus, a little bit of that. Not quite as insane.
No, we got them all. We got some crazy
right. She just snaps,
and she loses it, and she starts.
Of course, the result is that
she kills her father, and then has this incredible monologue again.
Like she basically asks him to get back up and keep playing the play.
Yeah, she thinks it's like a joke.
Part of the act,
Yeah, so she's piecing some Shakespeare in, and then the play's the thing.
Yeah, I think the actress actually does well in this section.
She does great.
Yeah, I think elsewhere she's not great.
Yeah, she's terrible.
But here she actually does really well.
She does really well in this whole
last confrontation scene. She's really well.
I wrote down again. There's another kind of. I think this is the episode pointing directly to its Shakespearean influence when Kodos says, "There's a quote that says murder, flight, suicide, madness." Okay, well...
That's all the tragedies.
All the tragedies. And then I wrote down daddy issues.
That's
certainly got
them. And that's partly why I'm less bothered by... The age difference makes sense.
Yes.
If you look at it that way, right? Like, it makes sense why they set up this way that she's younger.
Yep.
Because that's also very... Shakespearean. Right?
Real daddy-ish.
Like she's moving between two powerful men, right? Yes. I mean, there's this way in which the episode is constantly like part of Kirk's dilemma, right? Is that being in a position of power, right? He could see like you could make a horrible mistake. You could make a decision that you could then be forced to live with and recognize was wrong.
Which is kind of Kodos.
Which is his self-defense.
Right. You learn later, right? Which, again, it's not like a great justification.
No, it's not.
Killing 4,000
right. I don't think we're meant to read it as letting him off the hook, right?
No, but it is kind of, again, it's one of those things that kind of twists the emotional aspect of it a little bit, is he feels remorse because, he was in a position of power, made this decision, and now he's had to live with it.
Because I guess we should clarify that, like, his thinking is that it has to do with supply ships being late. He thinks they're not going to arrive in time, so people would have starved. Yeah. But, of course, the ship arrives in time, so, like, what he does, even if it were justified, which it's not, but even if it were justified, was pointless. Like, he didn't need to do it. So that's sort of the defense he gives.
Right.
We never really hear from anyone else the circumstances, so I think it depends sort of how much you believe his interpretation of it.
Well, we know...
But we know that, like, the fact of the ships arriving on time was true.
Well, we also know about the food shortage.
Yes, right. We know the problem is real. Yeah, we know the problem is real.
But like how?
But we don't know. Yeah, we still don't know if that was really his thinking.
Yeah. Well, and even though again we kind of can feel emotional for this character at the end, there is sort of still a sense of like who is he playing, right? Like. Does he feel remorse? when Kirk asks him if you're Kodos, he kind of acts like, that
yeah.
was a role I played once. Yeah. So who came first, Kodos or Anton Caridian, and who's acting who at what point? So it becomes tricky. Actors, so
actors
difficult.
And politicians.
Can we talk a bit about Lenore's name?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, you mentioned it.
Well, it's a very Shakespeare suggestive, but
who else?
Who else?
Who else is it suggestive of? And this is apropos of probably nothing in the episode, but
I was gonna say it doesn't really connect to. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't really.
But it doesn't connect to anything.
No, there's no thread there.
So that's like one of the things that I'm like, 20-year-old English literature would be going crazy because they would have been like, oh my gosh, there's Paul.
I mean, I guess it's like the madness angle.
Probably.
Right? Like,
but
it doesn't really. No, it doesn't. I mean, is it just meant to clue us onto things like the Fall of the House of Usher and like the Telltale Heart? Is that it?
Probably not.
But we don't get enough of a sense that Kodos is really consumed by guilt.
No, again, it just seems like something that
it just sounds good, right?
Exactly. The episode writers were like, "Oh, this is a literary reference.
Yeah,
we'll pop it in there."
And it sounds vaguely Shakespearean. Lenore sounds like it could be a.
Sure.
Not too far off from Elsinore.
Right. Who could have been one of Lear's daughters.
Yeah. Yeah, Goneril and
Reagan and
I don't know, Reagan.
I can't remember the third one.
I don't know.
Start with a C?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. In any event. It doesn't land. There's no payoff for that particular reference.
Right. It's just sad. Which is kind of sad to me. I wish there were.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just sort of vaguely left up in the air. Post often tragic, I guess. Yeah. So Balance of Terror, production number 9. So we've jumped around again, but this is the 14th episode to air. A week later, December 15th, 1966. For the folks out there who love your star dates, this is 1097.2. What was? Yeah, they like point 2 a lot this
sounds nice.
This month. So what was going on?
What was going on?
On the 15th of December, 1966. I previewed the other one. I did not preview this one, so we're going to find out. Together. All right.
Drum roll, please.
Ooh, okay. Apparently Jackie Kennedy was seeking an injunction to block a book about the assassination of JFK.
Interesting.
I don't know which. Oh, Death of a President by William Manchester, which is now pretty much regarded as a classic. So it was published.
Sorry, Jackie.
Yeah, sorry, Jackie. It's okay. She married that shipping guy, the Greek guy.
Onassis, yeah.
Some news about shakeups in Johnson's cabinet, but not interesting ones.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah, military targets hit within Hanoi. U.S. aides concede. In past, air raids have been reported only in relation distance from center, blah, blah, blah. So, bombing's going on. The NATO atom plans thing is still going on, so they're still trying to figure all that out.
That seems pertinent to our
Yes, to this one for sure. So that's the biggest Cold War news it looks like on here. There's some clashing going on in Venezuela. Some troops seize a university.
Oh my.
The Spanish had a vote to vote yes on Franco's new constitution. I don't know how transparent or free those elections actually were.
Yikes.
Blah, blah, blah. So I'm under the fold now. So this is more like New York news for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. Some teacher union, fireman union stuff going on. But yeah, mostly the interesting stuff is the atom plans, because Balance of Terror is the most obviously Cold War episode we've seen so far, heavily so. But maybe we'll start with a summary and then we'll
summarize it for me.
So this is also from Trekopedia. The Enterprise is patrolling along the Romulan Neutral Zone, a border between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire. As Captain Kirk is performing a wedding ceremony for crew members Angela Martine and Robert Tomlinson, an outpost along the border announces that it is under attack from the Romulans. Kirk witnesses the destruction of the outpost, but is helpless to assist. The Romulans have perfected an invention that renders their ships invisible, and Kirk reasons he must overtake and destroy the enemy vessel before it can return home. To the surprise of all, transmissions intercepted from the Romulan ship reveal that they look almost exactly like Vulcans, which causes Lieutenant Styles to express his distrust of Spock. When the Romulan commander is finally cornered, he destroys his ship rather than surrender, and Styles, whose life was saved by Spock, realizes his prejudicial attitude is wrong.
Lots of lessons learned in this.
Yeah, episode. A lot of lessons learned. I only have a handful of little tidbits I overheard in the bar at 10 forward. This is the final appearance of Janice Rand and Yeoman Rand.
Really?
Yeah, this is the last appearance in airing order. The last episode she filmed was the one we just watched.
That's crazy.
But she does come back in the motion picture in 1979.
Okay.
So we'll see her again.
Oh, that makes me really sad.
I know.
I like her.
I
and
do
maybe
too.
that's why they gave her a little
I think so. A little more screen time.
Yeah.
This I did not notice watching it.
Did they just were they just like, well, she's a cock block?
All I've ever seen is that they fired her, but I don't know why.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Well,
there's probably someone who knows.
Fired her for being a cock block.
Fired her for being too sassy, I think.
She was just trying to assert her dominance, and honestly,
I loved
it.
Yeah. It was kind of cool.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Sometimes a woman's gotta pee on her bush, you know?
You want to rephrase that?
Yeah. Pee on her fire hydrant.
Yeah. I did not notice this, but this bit of trivia is very interesting to me. So, the way they stage Angela Martine coming in to the chapel to be in, I didn't notice she genuflects.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't pay attention because it's not unusual to me, I guess, but kind of unusual for the time that they code her as probably Catholic.
Yeah.
Because not many other
genuflecting too.
Well, I think it's the altar thing that's in there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
there's a little altar.
But
that's very funny. Well,
yeah, which is I don't know. It's just kind of surprising that there's that much religious imagery in the show because we don't. I mean, it's not something that sticks around much.
Maybe she was Catholic and it was just a reflex.
Could have been. She looks like she could be.
I mean, routine. That sounds vaguely like.
Yeah, I mean, she's dark hair, dark eyes.
Yeah.
Very easy to say she's from the Mediterranean.
Yeah, I was going to say some Southern European country.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of interesting. I didn't pay attention to it, but
someone mentioned that.
Yeah, in the bar.
What else did you learn from?
That was pretty much it. The other one's pretty obvious, but we can talk about it when we get to it. But the whole structure of the episode is mimicking a submarine movie from 1957 called The Enemy Below.
Oh, okay. Yes. I've heard of. I actually.
Yay! All right.
One that I will lie.
Yeah.
I have not obviously seen The Enemy Below.
It's pretty good.
I've heard of The Enemy Below.
It's not my favorite. Run Silent, Run Deep is better, which is also references, but this is pretty good. It's Robert Mitchum and
Aaron's favorite is the Battleship Potemkin, which isn't about submarines.
No,
he really likes it.
Run Silent, Run Deep.
He likes Hunt for Red October.
I do like
and the episode of Doctor Who where they're on a submarine.
Cold War? Yes. I do also like that.
That actually kind of reminded me of this episode.
A little bit.
But again, it's just the Cold War, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the only other, I guess, bit of trivia here is that the Romulan commander we will see again, not in that role, but the actor comes back, and it's a pretty long run as a guest star in the show. Yeah. But I think he's great. Another solid guest.
Yeah, he
we
is.
have two in a row where we have really good guest star leads.
Another good voice.
Mm-hmm. He plays the part really well.
Yep.
Kicks off we're pretty much thrown right into the action. We open up with this wedding sequence, which is kind of it's unusual, right? Gets your attention. They're in the. I think it's a restage of one of the other sets, but yeah, it's in this chapel. It's not super religious looking, but it's chapel-y looking.
Yeah.
We're about to see this wedding, right? Kirk says, one of the rare joys of a captain over the centuries is his ability to wed these two people. Right away, we kind of know, one of them ain't gonna make it. You don't do a wedding at the beginning of an episode like this.
Yeah.
Without, setting it up for somebody to not make it to the end of the show.
It's true.
And it's just a question of, which one of them. It's a little spicy because he's our commanding officer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought about that.
Yeah.
What HR forms did they have to
sign?
I
know. Well,
yeah. when he says like, "Oh, until we're married, I'm your commanding officer."
Mister. I love that. It's so good. It's so good. I know. I was like, this is good. It's like I see how he got her.
It's the cutest banter I've ever heard.
That's really good.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. He dies.
He does.
We didn't talk about
it. Yeah, I mean,
he dies.
Yeah,
Can I say a confession? Since we're talking about religion.
Yeah.
This episode did nothing for me.
Really?
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was falling asleep.
Wow, I like this one a lot.
And when I revealed this to my husband, he said, "You don't like a little cat and mouse?" And I said, "This is like the sleepiest cat and the most like, I don't know, doped up mouse. Like there's no, it's like cat and mouse, but the stakes just don't seem like, I guess
Intergalactic War isn't good enough.
I don't know. They don't seem to be like ramped up as much as they should be. It seems a little too casual. I realize that it could start Intergalactic War, but like no one seems that tense about it. I don't know. There wasn't enough tension for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, cat and mouse, but everyone's a little sleepy.
Okay. Fair enough.
Aaron's looking at me so skeptically.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Everyone's a little sleepy, including me. We can still talk about the episode. I'm just saying, you really love this episode. It didn't do much for me. We are allowed to have a disagreement.
No, I know.
Episodes. Aaron was just expecting me to say yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
No, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
You love it.
No.
And I just agree
not
with you.
Fair. I do not expect that. Don't put that hate on me, Ricky Bobby.
Because we're friends. We're best friends, and I have to agree with my best friend about everything. I just didn't think this episode.
Okay.
This just wasn't the episode for me. Did I think it sucked? No. Did it have some nice moments? Certainly.
Mister.
Did I like that? Mister? Mister? Did I like that
Mister.
Romulan guy?
Yeah, he's great.
Yes. Did I like Spock in this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Always. I like Spock in every single episode. Am I glad that Sulu is back after
he was off for
7 episode hiatus or something?
And Scotty's back too.
And Scotty's, all my friends are back.
Mm-hmm.
Did I like
and Uhura she gets put at the helm.
Did I like Uhura doing a pirouette across the room when they had a blast hit them? Of course, it was hilarious.
She goes the opposite direction of everyone else.
Everybody else and ends up like posing.
Yeah, like posing like a cheesecake pinup. Yeah. And like honestly, if I had legs that look like that, I would.
We all have but I'm not gonna lie. We all have legs that look like that when they put it on an ass skirt.
I know.
Yeah, so there were some great parts of this episode, but the whole cat and mouse aspect of it didn't really change my life.
Sure. Okay. So right, the lighting gets interrupted.
Yep.
Red alert.
Yep.
Bad things are happening.
Yep.
They contact this guy, Hanson, who's the only survivor. He's like all fucked up.
Oh, poor Hanson.
Yeah, he's had a rough day.
He looks really rough.
Like everything's like on fire, and like he's facing the wrong way when they first turn on lights. Like it's like kind of sad. Like because it's like how just like concussed.
Yeah. Poor guy.
So he's the only one they talk to, right? So they don't witness what's going on. They just find these outposts have been destroyed.
Yes.
They like scan them, and there's just like dust.
By Romulans. They know.
Yeah, they know
it's Romulans.
They're pretty sure it is at first. They don't actually.
I thought they knew.
Well, Styles is convinced because he has this
ship.
background where his like grandfather or great grandfather was in this original war a century ago. So like the whole backdrop of this is like there was this war with the Romulans 100 years ago.
Yep.
Neither side saw each other because the technology wasn't good enough.
Yep.
Like they didn't have visual communication like they do now, so they don't know what each other looks like. Spock has this great line where he says like, "Humans view Romulans as like duplicitous, treacherous, barbaric, and violent," or something. Like he lists all these traits off, and he's like,
"Who knows
what? Yeah, who's what the Romulans think of them or something?" Which is very funny. So that's kind of the underlying. So that's like the underlying tension of the episode basically is provided mostly by Styles.
Yes.
As being this kind of like rabid anti-Romulan.
Yes.
Which some people have read as like obviously talking about like the civil rights era, like because he's prejudice, but I think it's more about like McCarthyism and like
like
that reads to me more the thing that's going on here than like
because again like the whole like
it's prejudice, but it's like prejudice based on like suspicion of like being an outsider in like a geopolitical sense rather than like yes, Spock looks like them, but it's not. I don't know. The animus doesn't work for me as like an analog for like the civil rights struggle.
Yeah, I was
like you could read it, but like I don't.
I was thinking of this whole episode more in the context of the Cold War.
Yeah, it's like Red Scare. Right? It's like the Red's under the bed, and fifth columnist, right? Like because the whole thing is he thinks Spock is going to sabotage them now.
Yes. Well, okay. So I did have a question about that because like they find out that it is the Romulans, and we kind of learned this whole thing about this sort of spatial political, we'll say, because it's not geopolitical.
Yeah, but I mean that's like the analog. Like, they're drawing
conflict, and these outposts are along this neutral zone that the Romulans aren't supposed to cross. Like no one's supposed to cross this neutral zone, and these outposts are supposed to monitor the neutral zone and make sure that occurs. Yeah. But the Romulans have obviously crossed the neutral zone and are essentially trying to provoke.
Yeah, they're just trying to learn too. I think about the capability, right, is the other thing.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but they're trying to provoke a response. Yes. They've got this technology now that makes them invisible.
Yes. So they are destroying these outposts, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And a little, I guess, like foreshadowing to what's his name's the other guy at the helm who's not Sulu.
Yeah, Styles. Yeah. I think he's a one-off. I don't think he comes back.
Good. I don't have to remember. Does he have a first name?
If he does, I don't know if it's like named in the show. No, he doesn't.
Okay, so he says something about like there could be a spy on the ship.
Yes.
And then Sulu, because Kirk, so they have kind of this initial like altercation.
Yes, right. We don't know what they look like
with the Romulans. We still don't know what they look like, but they sort of exchange. We'll say they exchange fire, right? And then Kirk is like, okay, we can reduce the like threat level on the ship essentially, and everyone be on alert, but we're not at battle stations anymore. And Styles is like, I don't think that's the right course of action. There could be a spy on the ship. And then Sulu is like, I agree.
Right.
And I think that we should stay on alert or, whatever. And Kirk is like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he settles for like a middle ground.
What is the... And do we know? Yeah. Like, what is the like thought process behind both Styles and Sulu being like, there could be a spy? Like,
I guess because we don't... At this point, we still know what they look like.
Fair.
So I think...
But like...
I mean, I think it's just... I mean, I think it's more for like the thematic effect than, you know what I mean? Like,
it's also like, what would one spy on the ship like they really be doing?
I don't know. It depends who it is, I guess.
Fair enough.
I mean, what it does is it helps set up this.
Right. I know. I'm just
this argument because like the whole episode is very claustrophobic, right?
Yes, which is maybe why I didn't like it.
Oh, so that's what I like about it is it's very claustrophobic. Like it's kind of like a sweaty episode, right? Like there's tension, people don't trust each other. There's a lot of argumentation. Like it's wild that they let Styles get away with as much as he gets away with because like he's insubordinate, particularly to Spock at numerous occasions, who is his his superior. But because of like the high pressure of the situation, I guess it's allowed, or
I guess
or I think again it's like a thematic choice, right? Like if you watch all these submarine movies, like if you've seen Crimson Tide too, with like Denzel and Gene Hackman, right? Like butting heads, like it's a way of like adding to the claustrophobia, right? It's like if you sort of like pit people against each other in this small space, it adds to this feeling of like being compressed.
Yeah.
There's the enemy outside you can't see, and then there's people fighting within. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's a good answer for why beyond the fact that at this point they don't know what they look like, and I guess it kind of sets up Styles' as a reaction to seeing that the Vulc, that Spock looks identical to the Romulans.
And that makes sense. I was just again curious, like, is this something they're just like using? But and then again, does it need to be based on anything possibly it does not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, right. Like, part of this is, right, talking about the Cold War. Another part of it is talking about Japanese internment, I think, too, which is interesting that Sulu's the one who's like, yeah, there could be spies.
Yeah.
Because George Takei was an internment. He was interned as a kid during that. So, like, I think it's playing off of all these things, right? Like, again, like Fifth Columnists, you don't know what they look like. They could look like anybody.
Right.
It's like paranoia. I don't think it's meant to be seen logically necessarily.
Okay.
Right? It's just like the whole atmosphere of this is so...
Yeah.
Everything's on a boil, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Cuban Missile Crisis wasn't that long ago.
I was going to say,
so it's trading in a lot of these things. Like, you had that, you had the Berlin airlift, you had, these like, I think Checkpoint Charlie was also not that sort of confrontation that, between East and West Berlin. I mean, the DMZ, obviously, North Korea, but also, like, East and West Berlin, that line. So it's all about, like, this, like, tension that occurs when you put people into these really tense, high stakes situations. Because Kirk initially doesn't want to engage in the fight. They had this like meeting in the command or the officers' lounge or whatever it's called,
briefing room.
Interestingly enough, it's Spock who kind of pushes him to say, actually, we should. Like, they violated the treaty. Like,
but they violated the treaty. But then, right, the part of the issue is just because they violated the treaty is not then like grounds for the Enterprise to just like do whatever the heck they want. They still have to.
Yeah, they can't. So they have to stop them before they cross back.
Correct.
Over.
They can't cross into the neutral zone. And that's really where the whole, like, all the tension lies, right? Is because then this Romulan ship is like, if I can get them to fire at me when I'm in the neutral zone, then we have a reason for a war. Yeah. Which is interesting.
Yes.
Because you would think that the Romulans just coming across and blasting some outposts and firing on a Federation ship would be enough for them to be like, hey...
Yeah,
I'm going to call headquarters and say, we might want to consider some warfare tactics here.
Right.
So I don't know, again, I don't know the geopolitical climate, I don't know exactly the terms of the treaty, but you would think that one person crossing the neutral zone and fucking up someone else's shit would be grounds for...
Yeah, and we'll get more on this in later series too.
Or is it because the Romulans can go invisible, come across, blast the asteroids, stay invisible, so like there's no...
I think that's the issue.
So so they can't say, well, we saw this ship, because they did see the ship.
They're just assuming that...
Well, they see it briefly at one point.
They do. I think it's a little... It's after they have this whole conversation.
Yes.
It's after they've begun the pursuit, right? So initially, they have not seen it. Yeah, I don't know if, like, I mean, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which is the sort of thing that kicked off Vietnam, it gave the justification. Yeah. The U.S. Navy alleged that North Vietnamese ships attacked a boat in the Gulf of Tonkin, and it allowed them to, like, basically invade. I mean, they'd already been there, but it gave them permission to invade. So I think that's also kind of underlying this. The networks were really against talking about any of these issues. Vietnam, the Cold War, civil rights, feminism, all this stuff was off the table. So I think this episode is kind of being sneaky about it, and in the way it's doing it, right, it can kind of muddle the plot a bit, because I think it's talking about a number of things, like it's Cold War, it's maybe also Vietnam, and sort of how like public perception can be misled, or like what's the justification, what's a just response to an aggression, like that sort of thing. I think is maybe on the table here too.
But then again, I feel like it's also kind of complicated, right? Because we find out this Romulan captain really isn't, like, evil.
No, but he's... Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously up to
that's where the enemy below thing comes in, is, like, in that...
But, right, it's like he's like, I know this captain, right? It's two captains who think the same way. Right. And also the same kind of thing is happening on both ships, where like you have some insubordination on both sides. So like, I mean, I don't think you're meant to feel like an emotional sort of like response to the Romulans, because again, like clearly they're supposed to be set up as sort of this warlike. Right. They're obviously like. I wouldn't even say model. They're just ripping off of like Roman
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
That's
like,
very explicit. Like,
culture,
one guy's
like,
he's
he is
called
a
Centurion, is
centurion.
his rank. The other guy's a Latin name.
Right. And they're wearing kind of like toga-like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very explicit.
So they're kind of playing off this very like violent aspect of Roman culture.
Right. The
warlike kind of gladiatorial. Yeah.
However you want to think about it.
Again, not to say all ancient Rome was
right, but there
like
was
this is what they're
yeah. And when we encounter Romans again, that'll always come up.
Sure. Whereas the Enterprise, and again, because we've been quote unquote traveling with them for so long, we know that their primary function is not as a war vessel, whereas the Romulan ship is postured to completely just be this. Yeah. So it's like the Enterprise has defense systems, but not, not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, this Romulan ship's only like function is to go out and like blows things up with this crazy plasma weapon that it has.
Yes. So again, you're supposed to kind of see this leader as of the Romulans as like a good leader, but not necessarily doing good, if that makes sense.
Right. I guess in some ways he's somewhat humanized over the course of the episode, right? We gradually sort of get this, because we start off not knowing anything about them, but by the end we feel like we know him pretty well.
Right, his best friend died.
Yeah, I mean, we know him pretty well.
And then he shot him out there like his trash. But...
Yeah. Well, he does. Yeah, I forget what he says. Yeah, he says something.
He says something to the corpse about like, oh, you know that this is just what we got to do, man.
Yeah. And it's one of those great kind of moments of like, I don't know. It feels very much like a classic like submarine movie moment where he's like, "Well, we got to fake we got the sunk. Yeah, so we're gonna send a little bit of wreckage up with a body, and hopefully they'll believe us, and we can get away." Because the whole thing is they're also running out of energy at this point. So because they're trying to stay invisible and they've used this weapon so much that there's like a chance they don't make it back. So that's also kind of what's motivating his flight at this point from the Enterprise. And so like they're also tricking each other, right? Because Kirk does this thing later where he powers everything down and makes it look like the Enterprise is like weak to lure them in for this like trick shot thing or kill shot thing. But like the Romulan commander figures it out because like they know each other so well.
Yes.
And then we have like Decius, who's this like political officer, basically. Like he's the one who's got like the connections. There's like this feels to me very like Soviet, right? Like he's the one who has like the connection to the Politburo or something, right? Like he's politically connected because I think it's his friend who like warns him. He's like, don't get on the wrong. Yeah. Someone warns him like basically don't get on the wrong side of this guy because he can make your life absolute shit because he's well connected.
He's gonna talk to Khrushchev.
Yeah, so he's like the opposite of Styles though, right? Like it's these two people who are like just purely black and white, purely like violence is the only solution to this problem, and they're having an effect on how both these commanders respond in different ways. So I mean, I guess like long story short, I guess we can jump to kind of how this whole thing concludes, unless you have anything else.
No, I mean, like there's a few other little tidbits we could talk about. Yeah. I think we can talk about the conclusion and kind of come back to them.
So the like kind of end of it is that like the Romulan ship is in very bad shape. Most of the crew, I think, is already dead by this point. The captain's still alive, so Kirk hails him. So this is the first actual communication continuity we have with them, because before like Spock sneakily intercepted their signal.
It's it's encrypted code, and the Romulan captain is very angry.
Yes, that it gets,
and the guy is like, well, it's all encoded, and he's like, well, they could figure it.
Yeah, basically. They do.
Yeah.
But also allows him, that's when we get the first glimpse too, right? He's like, we can basically, I don't know, it's like somehow work back through the signal. I don't know, he explains it, but it's an excuse to just have this big dramatic reveal, right? And then, so we have this final moment, right, where Kirk's like, we can beam you aboard, like, your ship's going to blow up.
Yeah.
Like, just, we'll beam you aboard. And he says he can't do it. He says, I regret having met you in these circumstances, because, like, we're basically the same guy.
Could have been best friends.
Yeah, we could have been best friends. And this is very similar to The Enemy Below, where you have the Robert Mitchum character, who's this U.S. destroyer commander, like, he rescues this U-boat crew at the end. So they actually do rescue them in that one, but... he just says, it's not the Romulan way to to be taken prisoner.
Yeah.
This is very like dramatic and very Roman.
Yep.
That's the straight out of Rome,
Yeah.
right? And then he blows up the ship. Before this, he had also planned the nuke amid the like debris to try to blow up the Enterprise.
Yep.
So there's a very specific Cold War reference there. He's
Yeah.
like, get out the old style.
Yep.
He calls it like old style nuke or old style weapon or something. Yeah. And of course, the only person who dies is Lieutenant Tomlinson in this whole thing, and the Enterprise anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's this final moment with Martine.
And Styles comes around on Spock.
He does. Saves his life because he like gets overwhelmed by this.
After the nuke, there's like some sort of leak in the
because he's in the phaser room or something.
Yeah, and Spock has to like go down there and
right because this
Kirk
final
is yelling like fire phasers, and nothing's happening. So all these guys are passing
like
out.
his trap is falling
apart. So Kirk
apart.
goes in and of course fires phasers and then like drags Styles out and he lives, but everyone else.
Yeah, because Thomas is also in there.
Yes,
he's killed in there, but because like before this, Spock comes in and says like, "Do you need help or something?" And Styles is really snotty, but it's like,
really
not from you.
Not from you.
Yeah,
pointy freak.
And then of course he comes around. So there's this way in which
all it takes is you say like
a death of the funniest guy on the ship.
Well, one of the things I found I don't know funny about this episode was like I don't know, kind of weird when the Romulans are revealed and they look just like Spock and Styles is like, oh well, he's the Spock. And Kirk is like, I have no like tolerance for bigotry on my bridge. You can leave that in your quarters. And I was like, but like he's fine. He can just be a bigot in his room. Like there's no tolerance for bigotry on this ship.
And it's basically just a way of like saying shut up.
And at the same instance, there's this great shot. You probably know the one I'm going to talk about. They reveal the Romulans, and it's like right before they were going to go to commercial break.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And there's this awesome shot where Kirk is staring. He's staring like past the camera, right? But like into the camera. Screen, and then Styles is behind him in like direct profile staring at Spock. You mean you don't see Spock?
No, but like where
it's a real close up shot, but you can see he's like staring right at Spock, and it's just this great kind of like I'd say like artistic kind of shot of the two of them that I really loved. But yeah, this episode was fine. I liked it better, I think, on the second watch. I think, I wasn't falling asleep, and B, like, I kind of got... The first time I think I was like, I don't know what's really going on. Because, again, for Cat and Mouse, it just felt a little slow.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a tighter episode in, like, 20 minutes. This is, I think, where, like, the 50-minute format actually hurt the show... hurt the episode because I don't think they needed 50 minutes of this. But
I mean, I guess what you potentially lose, right, is the Romulan side of it. I do like that about that. We spend a lot of time actually on the Romulan ship.
I don't dislike that.
No, I'm just saying, but like if you cut it down, I don't know.
Maybe. I think there's other things that can be cut. And I'm not saying 30 minutes. I think 50 minutes to me of this felt like too much. I mean, I appreciate, we're going from kind of these like high literary references of Shakespeare in one episode.
Yes, very different.
These like very historical / contemporary references in contemporary to the show.
Yes.
In this episode with like obvious nods to a lot of what was going on in the world in 1966.
Yep.
And so like I can appreciate it from that aspect, but it just felt really slow to me. I don't quite know why it just felt paced wrong.
I gotcha.
So
I did like the moment with Kirk and McCoy though, in his quarters, when he's talking about like how he wishes he could just be on a sailing ship.
Oh,
instead.
yes.
Yeah. I thought that was actually good. Well,
I don't want to be in charge anymore.
And that's the thing, right? Like, no one wants to be the one to push the button.
Nope.
So that I like.
But even in the last episode, I mean, there's this kind of, right, we're seeing this kind of theme of Kirk being like, I do not like the mantle of responsibility always having to be on my shoulders. I'd much rather just be seducing women.
Because they do message back to Starfleet or whatever, but they don't hear back because it takes like 3 days to get a message through or something. So they finally hear at the very end, after all this has happened, that like Starfleet's like, do whatever you think is best. Great. And like Kirk literally laughs about it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, it's one of those things where it feels very much of its time, as you said. Like, yeah, that like ultimately it's going to come down to like someone on the front lines making a choice, and like, better be the right choice. So, we ready to rate episodes?
Ready to rate. Do you have anything else to teach me about these episodes? You kind of gave me your fun facts at the beginning.
Yeah, I did. I thought the trivia was helpful setting up the discussion, but I don't think there's anything else. The Romans will come back. They're classic, classic villain. Although they're kind of sparingly used. Okay. But they do come back. They're not quite as... We don't meet them as much as, like, the Klingons.
Sure. I know about the Klingons, too. I knew about Klingons and Romulans, so those ones I had in my head. Did I mix them up? Maybe.
The Mark Leonard, who plays the Romulan commander, did also say that was his favorite role in all of Star Trek.
Wow.
And he plays a pretty significant one later on.
He does a great job.
Yeah. I thought both
the
main guest stars in these 2 episodes.
Main male guest stars.
Yeah, main male guest stars. So I think we're ready to rate.
Okay.
So we'll start with Conscience of the King. What do you get out of 10 tribbles?
So 8.5 out of 10 tribbles. Yeah.
I would give it a 9.
Okay. Again, I don't know if I can give anything 10 yet.
Yeah.
Did I give something 10?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
To check back.
Sorry.
I think it's this.
I think you did give something 10 because you wouldn't give something 10, and I was asking you why.
Oh, that's right. I forget which one it was.
What episode was that?
It's a few episodes ago.
I liked so much.
I feel like I gave it a 9 though. Or an 8. I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, but you said it was only.
Oh, it was Dagger in the Mind, maybe.
Yeah, it was Dagger in the Mind.
Which I still like.
Sweaty guys.
Yeah.
But yes, Dagger of the Mind, because I like the pacing of Dagger of the Mind. Yeah, I would say 8.5, maybe pushing 9. I think.
Yeah, this is between a 9 and a 10 for me.
Yeah, I guess I would be generous and put it up at a 9. It's very good.
It's really good.
For me, I can see why the viewing audience at the time was like, I don't like this. But I like Shakespeare.
I think it's fun. It's smart.
And I think it's really fun. I think it's fun what they're doing. I think it's fun to see Shakespeare and Star Trek having a little baby in this episode.
Won't be the last time.
Great. I'm fine with that.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, the only weakness really is Barbara Anderson.
Yeah.
Like the first 2/3.
Yeah.
She saves it in the end.
Yeah, and she's not a bad actress.
No,
I don't want to be ungenerous to her.
And it's kind of also a difficult part to play.
I was going to say, it's a pretty rough part at the beginning because she's just trying to be like a seductress essentially, but like more scheming, and I don't think it comes across the way.
Enough. Yeah, that's the problem. I think it doesn't quite work the way
she just comes across as too seductress and not enough scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get the like conniving part of it.
No, but
anyway, still good. Balance of Terror out of 10.
6.
6. Okay, I'll give this one a 9. I think it's good.
6, just because bad pacing for me, and it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Jam. I get it.
No hate.
It's fine.
But not too much love either. 6.
All right. Next up, we've got Shore Leave, which is an episode I will be honest, I do not remember anything about.
Great. Can't wait. Neither do I.
And the Galileo Sound, which I do vaguely remember a bit. It's a shuttlecraft episode, so some fun with that.
A what?
Shuttlecraft.
Oh,
episode.
You really mumbled through the last half of that.
Sorry, I'm on the second glass of wine.
Sure.
It's a shuttlecraft episode.
Thank you. Emphasize. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. We'll need to do elocution before we record next time. 2 glasses of wine and have you say Unique New York 10 times.
Well, you know what? I'm so irritated I could say, beam me up.
Beam me up.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.